4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. The Lakers are the champions. Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good! 2 seconds left. The Lakers take the lead.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
To be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
To disrupt Rondo, he puts it in. Here's Davis, 4-3 in the win. Oh, it's good! Anthony Davis has won it for the Lakers!
Organization want their respect. Laker Nation want their respect. And I want my damn respect too.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Let's Go Lakers podcast. My name is Mike Andrade. Today is December 18th, 2024. It is a week before Christmas. Can you guys believe that Christmas is already here? It's fascinating to me how fast time is moving. Unfortunately, LeBron James isn't moving as fast as he once was with Father Time. On today's podcast, I just want to go over a few things with you guys about the current state of the Lakers, the current state of LeBron, and what this team can do going forward for the rest of the regular season. So let's get into it. Let's talk about a little bit about LeBron James. LeBron James currently in his 6th season with the Lakers. Can you believe that? 6 seasons already with the Los Angeles Lakers. A Hall of Famer before he even got to the Lakers. LeBron James, 4 NBA championships, pretty much an all-star every year of his career, and undoubtedly a top 2-3 player of all time. That's unarguable. You know, a lot of people want to get into whether LeBron James is number 1, whether LeBron James is number 2 or number 3. Regardless of where you stand on the GOAT conversation, whether you're pro Michael, you're pro Kobe, you're pro LeBron, it don't matter. Look at LeBron has cemented himself in that conversation permanently. Whether he's 1, 2, or 3, it don't matter. Okay? All right? LeBron James has cemented himself as one of the greatest players of all time. Now, when LeBron came to the Lakers, you know, we had one goal in mind with him. Basically was to get this franchise back from the hell it had been through over the last few years before LeBron came, not making the playoffs, I think 6 or 7 years in a row. Management was a disgrace. They were dysfunctional as hell. The team was floating in a river. Like a little baby on a little bed floating in the river. That was the Lakers. Little Kyle Kuzma's and Brandon Ingram's and Lonzo Ball's floating in the river. And here comes our savior, LeBron James, picking those little kids up from the river, putting them on his back and saying, I got you. That's what LeBron James did when he came to the Lakers in 2018. Then flash forward a year later, we trade those little babies on up to New Orleans. We get Anthony Davis. And boy, did we go on a run that year. Okay, we end up winning the championship. Regardless of what your thoughts are of the Lakers winning the championship in the bubble, the Lakers were already championship contending team that season. Now, people want to say, oh, the Clippers were going to win that championship. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. The Lakers were going to win that championship regardless of the NBA bubble. Okay? Regardless of COVID, the Lakers are going to win that championship. And that's exactly what they did. In 2020, we won our 17th title. When we won that 17th title, everything LeBron James had promised coming to the Lakers was already done in 2 years. Okay? Nothing else left to do except win more. Okay? Winning more would just be the cherry on top of the sundae that we already had. LeBron brought the Lakers back to relevancy when we weren't really that. I mean, we were relevant. We're always going to be the Lakers. Relevant, right? But we weren't competitive. LeBron brought that back to us. And in 2 years, he delivered a championship. Okay? You take an NBA Hall of Famer already as he was, from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland. He already had that legacy. But to bring it to the Lakers and to win one more with us, that was the cherry on top of everything that what LeBron James's legacy needed. Okay? So, going forward from that, if we were going to win, if we we're going to bring more titles in, man, that's just the caveat on everything. Okay. In 2021, we were supposed to repeat. The team got hurt midway through that season. It was the shortened season. We basically didn't have an off season. Won the title in October of that year, and then 2 months later in December, we had to go back to work. I think the team started off pretty well that season too, but then just injuries caught up. And then by the time we got to the playoffs, we were the 7th seed, and AD got hurt again. LeBron was coming off of his I can't even speak. LeBron was coming off of his injuries, and that was it. The Phoenix Suns beat us in 6 games. Now I'm gonna get to a point where everything kind of just broke down for the Lakers. We had that window of winning with the team that we had, and then everything came crashing down like Hulk Hogan's theme song. When it comes crashing down and you hurt inside, that's what that's what happened when the Lakers traded for Russell Westbrook. Okay, now look at the biggest regret of LeBron's tenure with the Lakers. Everyone can agree on this is bringing in Russell Westbrook. Okay, now I hate to put the blame solely on Russell Westbrook because it wasn't just his fault. Even though he played like crap, it was LeBron, it was AD, it was the front office that all came together. LeBron and AD pushed for this to happen, and management said, "Okay, we're going to bring him in. We're going to trade away Montrezl Harrell. We're going to trade away KCP. We're going to trade away Kyle Kuzma to bring in your star." And that's solely on the back of LeBron James and AD. Can't blame anybody else. Well, management as well. But they should have known what they were getting in Russell Westbrook. Clearly, from the start of it, it was not going to be a good fit. And we ended up having a disastrous season in 2022. Didn't even make the playoffs that year. That's how bad things were. Okay? We had brought in Carmelo Anthony. We brought back Dwight Howard. We brought back Rajon Rondo for that year. It was just a shit show of a season. Okay? Then the roster had to go through a whole bunch of... And then we had to look ourselves in the mirror and say, boy, that didn't work. But we were left with nothing. After Russell Westbrook, with that trade, we were left with nothing. To go into the 2022-23 season, we were left with nothing. We ended up firing Frank Vogel. Why? Because I guess he just didn't... I guess he lost the guys midway through that season. But Frank Vogel is gone. We bring in Darvin Ham. But the team was not good. Okay, I remember on opening night that night, we started... Oh, man, Winning Gabriel. I think we started... Who are those guys on that team? Troy Brown Jr. I think we started... There's another guy that we started on that team. I think it was Lonnie Walker as well. I think those 3, we can look back on it, but I think those 3 guys were in our starting lineup that year, along with AD and LeBron, with Westbrook as well. But those guys were basically our unit coming off the bench and starting with us. We were left with nothing, okay? Westbrook was coming off the bench at that point. And we just basically had to salvage what we could off of that. And then something miraculous just happened. We had traded away Russell Westbrook. We finally, after months and months and months, we traded away Russell Westbrook to bring in D'Angelo Russell, to bring in Jared Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley. Obviously, Malik Beasley didn't pan out to the way we wanted, but we still got some pretty good return in D'Angelo Russell and Jared Vanderbilt. That team, that unit, along with Dennis Schroeder and all the other guys that were on that 2023 team, and the rise of Austin Reeves, you can't forget about that. But that unit got us all the way to the Western Conference Finals. It seemed like we had salvaged all the mistakes that we had made with the Westbrook trade. And just miraculously, it got us back into the Western Conference Finals. Now we met the Denver Nuggets and we got swept that year. But by the time we got to the Western Conference Finals of that year, it looked like LeBron James had went through World War III. His body was so banged up by that point. The guy was running on fumes. I don't even know even if we could have beaten Denver that year, I don't know if LeBron James had enough in the tank to get us through because he was that banged up. Now, obviously, Anthony Davis had made leaps and bounds from the past couple of years before that. People were mocking him, because of his injuries. Charles Barkley called him street clothes. He had a bounce back year, and really brought back the aura that is Anthony Davis on defense and on offense, his all around game. But LeBron James, by that point, he was limping, and by the end of that series, when we got swept, LeBron James was teasing retirement. We didn't know if LeBron James could handle another year of going through the regular season, going through the playoffs, all the monotony of it. Now it takes us to last year. LeBron James, after looking like he had went through World War III, he had a pep in his step last year. His numbers were across the board all better than the year before. I think he had played in the most games that he had ever played in as a Laker. I think, his shooting, his 3-point percentage was up, his all-around field goal percentage was up. Everything is up for LeBron James last year, and it made us think, gosh dang, this guy is really beating Father Time. Last year was his 21st season, if you could believe it. 21st season. Unbelievable. And LeBron James got through basically the regular season uninjured. Now, unfortunately, we lost to the Denver Nuggets again in 5 games. Sorry, not 6. 5 games. I wish it went to 6 games. But we lost to the Denver Nuggets in 5 games, and we're bounced out again. That's not on LeBron. It was basically the coaching of Darvin Ham, which I'll get to him in a second. But it was basically on the other guys on the team, like D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura. Guys that we were relying on to do something, but kind of just crapped the bed in the end. That's not on LeBron James. But LeBron James felt so good in his body that he said, you know what? I'm feeling so good. Let's just bring back the band together for us all to play in Team USA basketball during the Olympics. Let's all go to Paris. Steph, Kevin Durant, Booker, AD, you name it. Let's bring it on. So he went into the Olympics and he looked great. LeBron James looked great. Okay? Him, Steph, they all looked great. They ended up winning the gold medal. But it comes at a cost. Okay? As good as LeBron James has felt this, last season, hasn't been the same this season. Has not been the same. This guy's in his 22nd year. 22nd year. Okay? Last season, he was playing at an all NBA level. And for everyone to think that this was going to continue in his 22nd season, basically having no rest, I don't know what you guys were thinking, because it was pretty obvious that it was going to take a dip this season, coming off basically because he decided to play in the Olympics. Now, I don't fault him for playing in the Olympics. That's his personal choice, and obviously it's a great honor to play for Team USA. But you should know that you're 39 years old, close to being 40. Okay? You don't have the same mileage on your body like you did 10 years ago when you could do that stuff and get away with it. Okay? He should have known coming into this season that maybe my production is going to take a dip if I go ahead and do this. That maybe it's going to hurt the chances of my team if I go ahead and do this, which he did. And we're seeing it. LeBron James had a great start to the NBA season this year. In the first couple weeks, LeBron looked like he was back at an all NBA level. But then we saw, once we started getting closer to Thanksgiving, mid-November, around there, we really saw the toll taking place on LeBron's body. We saw LeBron revert back to not playing defense. We saw LeBron reverting back to his jump shot just not being there, the legs not being there, going to the rim being blocked. And look, I love LeBron. I am so grateful for what LeBron has brought to the Lakers. He brought us a championship. As a Lakers fan, I cannot thank you enough, LeBron James. But it's clear that the toll that has taken place through your whole NBA career, plus the Olympics you decided to play in this year, now it's taking a toll on your body. This guy just had to have 10 days off. 10 days off to get rejuvenated. Now he came back last Sunday against the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Lakers got a win. But I just don't know what, going forward, what LeBron James can bring to the team at a rate where we need him to be super productive. Because let's be honest, if LeBron James is not super productive on this team, do the Lakers really have a chance? I don't know. It's hard. We have not had production from guys like D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura. We have been injured all season long. We were supposed to have Jared Vanderbilt back by beginning of the year, by opening night. Still no. I mean, we haven't seen Jared Vanderbilt. There's been updates recently, but there's no guarantee that he's going to be back soon. Okay, considering the setbacks that have happened. The same with Christian Wood. All these setbacks, all these things that have happened have made the Lakers injured. Okay, and not having the guys that we need to be on the floor to be productive and to be a playoff caliber team, these guys are just, we've just been winging it together. We've already had so many iterations of our starting lineup. At the beginning of the season, it was AD, LeBron, D'Lo, Austin, and Rui. Well, that started great, but then as soon as we started to dip, JJ Redick made a change. Started adding in Cam Reddish. He started adding in Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect has been a fabulous player for the Lakers this season. But we've already had iterations. Championship level teams don't have iterations of starting lineups. They already have that figured out. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is the Lakers haven't had, any time. The Lakers haven't had the pieces together to fully put it together for their season. And the consequences is we're starting lineups that haven't really played together. Guys like LeBron, his production has taken a dip. Anthony Davis's production has taken a dip recently. Okay? He's one too that played in the Olympics. I can't forget about that. 82 played in the Olympics, and we're probably seeing the ramifications of him playing as well. It's obvious that the Lakers do not have enough to be competitive on a night-to-night basis with the guys that they have. They need to be fully intact in order to make a legit playoff run. But just having those guys on the floor, it's been real tough. And LeBron James, that's at 60%, 70%, even though LeBron James that is at 60% or 70% is still better than most NBA players. I just don't think it's going to get the job done. And it is as hard as it is for me to say, I think we've seen the best of LeBron James in terms of what he's able to bring towards this team. The guy is 39 years old, going to be 40. All right. It's unimaginable for us to even be thinking that he's still going to be an MVP caliber player at that age, which he has shown us. But at this time of year now, we see the decline. We do. It's in the numbers. Just look at them. All right. So let's talk about the injuries that we just brought up a moment ago. All right. Let's start with Christian Wood. All right. Christian Wood has been out pretty much since, what was it? March or April of last season. He was ruled out of the season. Was supposed to be back at the beginning of this season. He even tweeted out, "I'm back," and then had a relapse of some sort. But he's been out this entire time during the regular season. But it's just been reported that JJ Redick reported during practice this week that Wood has been cleared to do some on-court workouts. And so that's going to be huge for the Lakers. Getting him back. Christian Koloko has done a great job being the backup for Anthony Davis, but we really need Christian Wood back out there. His offense, his three-point shooting, everything that he does out there, we really need a guy like him back out in the court, just in terms of his size and what he's able to do, offensively. Defense is not that great for Christian Wood, but he does do some shot blocking, which, look, at anything helps with this team. Okay. But speaking about shot blocking, we're also going to get back Jackson Hayes at some point. Hayes injured his ankle about a month ago, I think now. He did come back, but then I think he re-aggravated the injury at some point during that game that he did come back, and he's been out for the last couple weeks. And so just getting him back soon will be helpful. There's still no real timetable for when he's going to come back, but hopefully within the next couple weeks. And Jared Vanderbilt. Like I mentioned before, has been out all season long, just like Christian Wood. Was supposed to be back in the starting lineup. Not in the starting lineup, but was supposed to be back on this team opening night and just had another setback. But he's going to be ramping it up on the court, just like Christian Wood is. And hopefully early January is when we see Jared Vanderbilt back, because look at his defensive versatility. It's really just something that this Lakers team is just in dire for. We really need a guy like him to bring the defensive tenacity. His offense is something to be not desired for, but his defensive tenacity, his versatility, his length, everything he does on defense, the Lakers desperately need. So getting a guy like Jared Vanderbilt back, he just can't happen soon enough. So hopefully we can get these guys back. Now it's obvious that the Lakers need to make a trade. Okay, we desperately need to make a trade in order to get this team back to a competitive standpoint. With the guys that we have, it could be possible, but we really need to make some trades, get some transactions going to really get this team going in the right place. Now, I'm not going to get into every single trade rumor that there is because there's really no point in getting into trade rumors when it's exactly what they are. They're just rumors. But December 15th is the date where guys that were signed in free agency can now get traded. So this basically opens up the floodgates for trading now. Between now and the trade deadline in February, this opens up the floodgates of what teams can do. Now look at the Lakers are still really pigeonholed on what they can basically do to bring in a guy. Look at with the tax brackets, what it is, but the first with the NBA tax aprons the way it is, with the Lakers being in the first apron, it's basically really difficult for the Lakers to bring in any kind of money back when they're trading away an asset, which is basically they need to do in order for a trade to work, they need to make it work in a way where they can bring it in salary for salary. But teams aren't really that willing to help the Lakers make a trade. And this is just historically for the Lakers, okay? They don't want to see the Lakers do well. The Lakers have done too well, okay? Teams aren't really willing to get the Lakers going and make them better when they know that, look at, we've been effed over for so many years. Why would we want the Lakers to do well? Okay, that's the mindset of what the NBA general managers have. That's what the mindset of NBA teams have. Okay, they don't want the Lakers to do well, so they make it very difficult for the Lakers to actually get guys back in return. Okay, that's just my opinion, but I feel like it's just the way the NBA is now, especially with the aprons now. For years, Adam Silver and David Stern, they wanted the NBA to have a lot more parity in terms of teams that are competitive. Okay, they just didn't want to see the Lakers winning, the Celtics winning, whoever winning. Okay, they just didn't. They did not want to see a monopoly in the NBA. So they've made it this way where teams can be competitive and not just given to the Lakers being the king of the throne every single year. Okay, that's just the way it is now. It's very difficult for the Lakers to make trades happening. But with all that said, I think there's still possibilities out here for us to make some valuable trades out there without us getting hosed on a deal. And that's the number one thing. You just don't want to get hosed on a deal. And so, even though it is frustrating for Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss for them not to have made any kind of progress in a trade, I still give them kudos to not bringing in a trade that's going to hurt us down the line. But all right, guys, with that said, what do you guys think? All right, guys, with that said, what do you guys think the Lakers need to do in order to get back into contention here? What do you guys think? What kind of trades are available out there? What do you guys think is possible for the Lakers and plausible, realistically thinking, with the guys that we have, all the restrictions that we have on this team? What can we do to get going here? What do you guys think? Let me know, because as much as I love talking about this, I love hearing from you guys as well. You guys can email me at laceemuptakes.com. We can talk about any type of Laker topics you want to talk about. Okay, if you guys have any questions you want me to answer, let's talk about it. It can be like your mental health therapist on this for this Lakers season and this team. I know it's really frustrating watching this team, but if I could be a therapist of somewhat to help you out during these challenging Lakers times, then I am glad to do so. But let me know what you guys think, what really needs to happen, because at the end of the day, I stand on the Lakers need to make some moves on getting this team back in the right place. But let me know what you guys think. We're going to wrap it for this podcast here today, but I appreciate you guys listening. And next week, we're going to be back with a Christmas Day episode, and I'm going to be talking about my favorite Christmas Day games of all time. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Let's go Lakers.